All right, welcome in, Mahmood. Please start by telling us a bit about you, who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Really excited being here. My name is Mahmood Gazarzadeh, but you could just call me Mahmood, make it a lot easier. I'm a professional sports trainer. My background, I have a master in sports physiology and sports nutrition. This is my 35th season in business. And I've been everywhere from LA, New York, and last 25 years, I've been in Orlando, Florida. Great city for sports. And my passion is to see the student athletes from way before became a superstar and see the process growing and get them where they want to go.
Yeah,
So that's one of my great things. I go every day to work with a smile. I don't call it work. It's a really fun time for me
yeah.
to see that. So
And one of the most interesting things that I learned from you off camera is you were explaining that for specifically people who are student athletes,
right.
there's a real strategy behind getting into a college and getting scholarship money. There's like a pipeline, a process that can be followed where a lot of student athletes, a lot of parents, they just apply to as many places as they want or the best places they can possibly imagine. But walk us through what the actual student athlete scholarship pipeline and strategy looks like.
So in past, I would say 30 years, you basically reach out to your coach in high school, whatever sport, maybe know somebody. And like I said, you apply to a lot of schools and you go to their camps. And at the end of the day, you find out nobody recruited you. And I said, like, man, I know I'm good enough to play college. What's going on? So our process is that we'll bring you in before we do anything, we evaluate. We find out your weight, your body fat, the way you intake oxygen, your mobility. We treat you like you are top of the line pro blue chip. I want to make sure that the student athletes and parents understand. So for instance, everybody have different needs. Some people need to lose some body fat. Some people need to gain weight. Perhaps you had the injury, you tore your ACL, something happened. But there's a lot of different ways. So we bring you in, we evaluate you A to Z. And also being a sports nutritionist, I'll go over the food with him. And I get it. You want to eat some junk food, you want to hear. I just want to make sure stick with the parameter, what's going to get. Imagine you got a Ferrari and you put cheap fuel in it. It's not going to perform well. So the process that we work with is that, first of all, we try to get them to be better at whatever sport, from football, baseball, basketball, soccer, volleyball, whatever their sport is. Find out where they at. Oh, I don't start. I'm on a bench. Well, why is that? Well, I'm heavy. I'm slow. I don't have a vertical leap. I don't have a stamina. So we map that out, how we go by to fix those things as we go along. So make sure that they're getting the maximum benefit. Number two thing we do is that I tell them only choose the schools that realistic. Like for instance, if you're going for football, for linebacker, you play football, you're 170 pounds, you run a 5 flat, you're 5'9". I'm going to be very truthful, but you are not going to play for major school. Because we got guys that come in right now, 6'2", 230, running a 4'3". I mean, it's a different world. And the student athletes are, oh my God, I'm done. So what we do is that I said over 300 colleges in America, Division I, II, and III. Also, there is Ivy League that you could go and see what fits for them. And I tell the parents, please don't waste your money on recruiters. They cannot do what you want to do. You pay them anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000, and they find you junior college somewhere in South Dakota. There's nothing wrong with it. But I don't want parents waste their money.
Right.
They get mad at me, but I want to be truth and open about this. So what we do is that, so let's say you're good, you need to get leaner, get bigger. So we go and we ask them to realistically choose 20 colleges that you think are going to play. But also I'll put my input. I have a relationship over 42 different colleges, Division One, two, three, Ivy League. And the reason I have a relationship, when I call, they pick up the phone. I don't fluff it. I tell them what they're getting, what they need to be done. So I tell the parents also, if you look at the college, see how many seniors and juniors versus freshmen and sophomore. More senior and juniors, they're going to be gone. So if there's a lot of freshmen and sophomores, you're probably not going to get a chance to play. Then you got a red shirt, and next year you're going to get more blue chip players, and you're going to push to the side, practice squad, or you might get cut.
Yeah.
So want to make sure, give them what they need. Majority of the student athletes, definitely they need to put some muscle mass on, and all natural. There's everything we do with the three guidelines. One has to be safe, regardless of training, nutrition. Number two, it has to be the right type of exercise. Like a linebacker needs to get faster, quicker. He doesn't need to do quantum leap, be able to jump 5 feet. That's not what he needs to do. So we give him all kinds of training, mobility. And one of the things I take a lot of pride with my student athlete, every session is to get stretched out head to toe to make sure all of the soreness is reduced and body's healthy to go. And some of my student athletes were with me for all the way from high school to college to pro. And I take a lot of pride in it. And when I see them, what they're doing, and 10, 12 years later, and it's still standing with the protocol.
Yeah.
Even when I'm with them, they call, hey, this going on, that going on. If they could come home, no problem. But I try to guide them the best we can. A majority of the college and pro teams are really good about what I have to say. They know I'm not stepping on their toes. I'm talking as an expert in a business.
What's the common trait behind those type of clients of yours who start as, high school students and go into college and then get to pro? Like, what do they have in common that makes them get to that point?
Number one, you gotta love the sport. You gotta love it. When I tell that, and I question some of the student athletes, like, definitely I want to play a lot. So when I tell them to do certain things on their own, there's like, say, well, I want you tomorrow go run a mile under 8 minutes. And it's like, oh, I say, yeah, I want you to do that. Playing basketball, I want you to shoot 250 balls, the perimeter from all sides, 7 days in a row without stopping. And I say, check mark, and I want to see but because why you want me to do that? I want to see the commitments. If the parents are going to do financial commitment, and I give 1,000%. A lot of people ask me, how come we don't work for a pro team? There is a great situation, but the thing is, as a pros, a lot of the pros, they get lazy. They got the money, they got the glorious stuff. Like, man, I'm not doing all these things. And I bring it to the attention and say, look, you have to get better. You're not going to be the same. If you look at some of the best players in the world, from Brady, LeBron, Curry, and so on, these guys are trained all year long. I mean, granted, they're not going to be lifting 400 pounds squats the day before the game, but they're always tuning the body. That's their resume. That's where they want to go. That's where they play as long as they play. So biggest thing is, one, is you got to be passionate. Two, I want a commitment. I want a commitment that you are going to follow everything I do. Be on time, do everything I tell you. And I always joke with them. I said, make sure parents pay my fees in full. And I want to see them succeed. And some of them I'm surprised how it happens. So let's say you want to go play at UCF. You go to the camps. I teach them how to introduce themselves to the coach. They'll say, hey, what's up, man? You talk to him, Coach Frost, such a pleasure to meet you. Firm shake hand, make eye contact. And what you do is that one of my trick of the trade is, after you go to the camp, you meet them, you send them a 5x7 postcard. Coaches hate opening envelope. Imagine you get 300 envelopes or email. They pass them on to assistant to do that. But when you get a 5x7 card, majority of coaches are in their 40s and 50s, like, wow, you took the time. But one thing I tell the student athlete, don't get the name wrong. If it's Coach Smith and you put the Coach Dean, that's not good. That's why I said, don't copy and paste. I said, hey, this is my highlights. Could you please take a look at it? Tell me what I could improve. I would really appreciate it. Majority of coaches are, send you something back. Then at another week or so, what you do is that you send them an email. Hey, these are my highlights from my game. Quick, no more than 3 minutes. They don't want to watch a 2 hours worth of highlight. Simple. You don't have to have the music, just a highlight. What are you doing? They go say like, okay, this is what you do. And that now you got a relationship with that coach. Might be assistant coach, but you have a relationship. So you're a sophomore, junior, by senior year, you put yourself in a position better than anybody else to go to school. They're getting great grades. And one of the biggest things the coaches ask me, family life. And I tell them, I said, hey, some of it don't have the best family life, but they're really good student athletes. And they want to get better. They want to go to school. They want to get grades. They want to get better. So these are some of the stuff that we do. And also I personally get involved and I make calls with them. Hey, I'm sending Jared to you next week to your camp. Please, if you got a moment, take a look at him. And they know I come from a place of sincerity and relationship of 35 years with them. They know I'm telling them the truth. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, he run a 4.2, he jumps 10 feet in the air. No, I tell them what it is. And that's how you build a relationship. So that's what I'm teach the parents to do. So, but I want the student athletes mainly be involved. I don't want the mom and dad send a postcard. And one side note, I tell the student athletes, if you're gonna write the card, write legibly. Don't scribble or so small like, like I said, the guys are in the 40s and 50s wearing glasses. Like, what is this? I can't read that.
Yeah.
So this is a beginning point, and we have on and off season training. Off season focuses would be on a strength power, and I use a couple of machines. Not a lot of trainers in the country. One, I use a Vertimax for speed, agility, change of direction, vertical leap, and a stamina. And I have also hypoxical, mimic high altitude training. They used to people go for several weeks in Colorado or to go other high altitude places to train. But after a few weeks, you come back, the effects are gone. So our machine goes up to 24,000 feet. We're not going to do that. If you could run a mile, 8 minutes or better at 10,000 feet, when you come to the sea level, you run in 6 minutes. We've done this, we've got a proven record, and we give them things they didn't have. Give you a quick example. My kids go to school at Cornerstone right in Orlando, one a smaller school. So they asked me to get involved with the football team training. And I told them, I said, you don't have the size. Biggest guy is like 6'1", 220 pounds. You guys don't have the skill that the other kids have in 7A. Like you go to Miami, you go to Tampa, other places. These guys are ready to play college. So one thing I teach them is a stamina and a speed. And we do the drills like about a direct way to hit without hurting yourself. And also, we want to make sure they just beat their team. I don't want to mention it. They beat them 32-0 last year. They would beat them 17-7. They were shocked because we took the stamina and the speed and we find out the way to win. And that's what I teach them wherever they want to go. Let me give you a quick example. You heard of Ben Simmons, right?
Yes.
Ben, he was at Mount Vernon when I first met him. He's from Australia, great parents. He came to train with me. Of course, he was a blue chip. He was 6'10", 6'11", great at ball handling, everything. But I told him, I said, you're not ready for college. What do you mean? I said, the problem is that is a different.
You told Ben Simmons he wasn't ready for college.
He was not ready. And I goes, why is that? So I told him, I said, let's go run a mile. He ran in 7.5 minutes, almost in my office. I goes, what's going on? I said, I run a 7.5 at the time was in my 50s. I said, I run 7.5. I said, well, you don't need to run a 5 or 5:15. And I goes, I don't know how to do that. So we did the process of high altitude training, strength and power. A few things I stay away from. A lot of the coaches, the way they brought up in the 80s, 90s, heavy squat, heavy bench. I don't even bench press. Like the bench press tears up your shoulder. your pack muscles. So we want to make sure you stay healthy. Ben went out from like 180 by the time he got drafted. He was 210. His vertical leap was ridiculous. He was like 40 some inches. He ran a 505 for a mile. He did, the full court suicide. He does 14 of them without stopping, full speed. I mean, that's world-class athlete. But I had them, I tell the guys, I said, the process that we went through with them, the food, the training, the recovery, make sure, but most important, I told them is that you got to get it to their Mount Vernon education is not easy. So make sure all this stuff, and God bless him, he signed for over $200 million and he's playing NBA, and hopefully we'll see more better things from him in the future.
Yeah. So now you're telling student athletes that they don't even necessarily need to be the best athlete, but they do need to have the best strategy for moving from
Absolutely.
high school into college
Absolutely.
and then into pro.
One of my student athletes a few years ago, he went to Valparaiso. He was 190. He ran a 4.6 linebacker, and he was just lost. And he goes, I'm not going to, and even the coach goes, be honest with you, I have two other kids I'm looking at. And not give us up, sir. I said, tell him what he's going through. And he lost his dad literally 18 months before that. And he was helping out with his mom and his sister, working and also playing football. And I told the coach, I said, this is a kid, he would die for you on the field. You might not be the fastest, stronger, best, but his commitment was uncanny. He played for 2 years over there. He had some knee injuries, but I was so proud of him. He never thought he would play in a big-time school. So it's the strategy behind it that I provide. And best part, I tell the parents when they come train with us, I don't charge for that. It's ridiculous. I've got guys, one kid thought he's going to go play basketball at Alabama. 5'10". I saw his skills. At best was below average. Vertical was 23 inch. He couldn't do 5 suicide full court. And I told the parents, because what they told us this and that, I said, they tell you what you think they're going to please you. So and the kid was crushed. He never played basketball again, He goes, no, you're wrong. I said, listen, I'm not here to hurt your feelings. I'm here to give you the facts. So the strategy is absolutely. Normally, we try to get it done within a minimum 2 years, because it takes time to put the quality muscle, functional muscle. So even if you put 30 pounds on, but you're not running fast enough, or you're not quick enough, or you don't have a vertical leap or stamina, it's not going to work. I have guys who bench press 400 pounds 15, 20 times. They never play college. Yeah. So definitely a strategy. That's what we're going to provide. And I tell them, he said, the sooner you start is best. And I have some student athletes with me right now in 7th grade. They love this sport. I always make sure they love. I have one young man came from Miami. His dad played tennis. He did not want to play tennis. He wanted to play tennis because his dad. So we talked, but the kid was genius. At 8th grade, he created an app. I didn't know even how to open an app. He created an app. So I was so impressed with him. I told his dad, goes, no, he played. I said, sir, you play in Caribbean. It was like it's a very expensive sport. Maybe 8 or 10 people. In Florida, you got 3,000 blue chip players are ready to turn pro. And I said, he doesn't love it. You can't force somebody that doesn't love it. So that's one of the biggest thing, I'm not one of those, I'm going to play at all costs. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You got to get good grades. You got to be a good human being. You got to help out other people. Don't be selfish, and be a giver. And coaches will see that, like you're helping other students. I mean, everybody says, when Tip Tebow came to the picture, it'll probably like, oh, this is all for the show. He's genuinely incredible how much he helped with everybody. If somebody lacking something goes, hey, I stay late with you, I will practice it. So I'm not expecting everybody to do it at 10 people, but be willing to help, or it's not my problem, or I'm not doing this. The coaches are sees that, and that makes a big difference. So a strategy and is a process. People say, well, this guy said could do it in 3 months. Then you should go with him because facts are facts. I can't get you from being a C-rated athlete to A-rated in 3 months. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's our biggest goal for the families. And even if they don't come train with me, I give them enough tools to understand. People said, "Why would you want to do that?" God's been great to me. I grew up in a small town in Iran. I should have been dead in the war, and God didn't want me. God, through oil company, I got my scholarship to come play soccer in the States, and I played at USF, and I played professionally. But it's not about me. It's about biggest thing I tell people is that whatever you do good for somebody comes back to you tenfold. And I'm not giving my Christian beliefs, but God, it will reward you. It will reward you. And when I see him and they tell me, it really touches my heart. So
Yeah.
and the great thing about this program is it keeps your kids out of trouble. It's out there. Teenage drinking, drugs, mischiefs, stuff. This way, when they come home, they're tired, they're hungry. Hopefully, they do homework and take a shower, and they're in the right path. It's the right path. And I tell parents, let's say, even if you, let's say, spend $10,000 with us, average in-state, not even out-of-state. You go to Florida, in-state, and let's say you got some bright future, some money, you still spend $20,000 for average books per semester is $1,000. They got tuitions, they have cars, insurance, all that stuff. It adds up, housing, food. And of course, it's always midnight run to get a pizza. So those adds up. So I tell the parents, imagine you have a scholarship and you could save whatever money you had for them for something else in the future. Get them a better car, put it towards when they graduate out of college, they're not in debt. So a lot of great things about it. Average scholarship out of state for 4 years is $135,000 plus. So, and especially if you go Ivy League, you get some scholarship. Yale, Harvard, Princeton, Stanford, they are run anywhere between the 60 to 85,000. If you play sports, yeah, you do get scholarship. But imagine parents have to pay that kind of money out of pocket.
Yeah.
So you save a lot of money. So that's our goal.
Yeah. You mentioned that even if they don't come and train with you, that there's still some like free tools that you give them.
Absolutely.
What are those free tools?
Free tools, number one. Don't get seduced because mom, dad play at a big time school 20, 30 years ago. Time has changed. Don't be seduced by that. Oh, I have legacy. Oh, I'm alumni. I've seen it. They get crushed. I said, find a school, it be a right for them. And I always tell them, what's the best school for sending your kids? The one that pays for everything, especially for young ladies that go in there. You familiar with Title IX? And so as much as money we spend on a boys' sports, we got a equivalent spend. We're not going to. University of Florida last year made over $400 million for football. And they didn't win a championship, but these so big. So if your daughter played volleyball, basketball, soccer, track, most likely going to get a full ride, everything. So the girls are definitely an advantage. I tell the parents, take advantage of that. Send them as a student athlete. You save a lot of money, plus, keeps them love this sport, keeps them sharp. So one of the other things I would tell them is that don't get recruiters. Recruiters is a waste of money. I'm not trying to mess with their business, but I have to tell you the truth. They're not going to do much for you. What they're going to do is basically make some film highlights, post them, send them to a bunch of colleges. An assistant to assistant or even intern look at it and goes, nope, not good enough. Nope, not good enough. And if they ask you to pay to go to certain programs, you should never do that. You should never pay to get your kids. Oh, I can't get them in Florida. I can't get them. You should never do that because I don't want to say dishonest, but it's just not right. Taking people's money for that is just not right.
If student athletes shouldn't pay attention, if student athletes shouldn't seek out recruiters, what should they do instead?
Number one, find out where they're at. Okay, a few tests you could do. Number one is that go see how fast you run a mile, you know, and find out for the position that you play. Google's a great thing. Find out what's the top speed for a mile. What's the top speed for 40 yards for football, 60 yards for baseball, suicides. Find out what those criteria are, what they're looking for. So you got to find out. That's number one thing they could do on their own. And there are a lot of drills online they could do. If not, you call me. You call me, I'll pick up the phone. I will talk to you. I tell you what you need to work on, and I tell them a few things mom and dad could buy, some bungee cords and stuff. You could be able to elevate your games to another level. So my biggest thing is that give yourself a real chance. If you know it's not going to happen, you didn't start in sophomore, junior year, maybe play some in senior year, most likely you're not going to go Division One. I'm going to be very truthful. So, but there's Division Two, there's Division Three, there's Ivy League, there is one AIA. It's so many colleges are there. So you got to find out what they're looking for. Looking for lineman, looking for quarterback. Don't go to a school. They're looking for receiver when you're linebacker.
Right.
So it's basically, then I said, well, enroll in a school. You go there, you go to the practice squad, and nothing come out of it. I love the movie Rudy. But my God, want to waste the time 4 years and getting your butt beat? I'm sorry, it's very inspiring. But like I said, please, it's got to be more effective. It's got to be more effective. I love the passion of the students, and I love what I see. A lot of them, that someone's so passionate, I've teared eyes because I just want to get better.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I always talk to them, regardless of they're my clients or not. Always talk to them, make sure what they need to do. Another factor I'm going to bring is injuries. You get silly injuries, tear your shoulder, your knees, your back. After you go see a doctor, whatever operation, procedure they did, they give you 20 sessions of rehab. Well, you're a student athlete. You're going to be a professional athlete. 20 sessions is just dropping a little pebble in a huge lake. You got to continuously do this. I give you a good example. Jason Williams, White Chocolate, is a good friend, and he trained with me for years. His wife used to goes. He had the longest relationship after me was you. He was with me for 4 years. He tore his knee in one of the tournaments, and we jumped on it. Got one of the best doctors. Give him a shot, Dr. Randy Schwarzberg, phenomenal. We did a surgery, and Randy says, I'm not sure he's going to play. So I said, well, do whatever you got to do. After he got released, we trained for rehab, and it was very hard. Emotionally, he was not in the right place. You're going to doubt yourself. Man, my knee's not going to be right. Took us 9 months. I got him back on the court. A lot of people have said, it goes, wow, I can't believe he's playing again. And I said, yeah, he did play again. And not only played at the highest level. So, but just to let you know, he cursed at me a lot. But that's okay. I'm not got no problem with that. I said, I can't hear. No hablo inglés. I don't speak.
So when a student athlete comes to train with you, you're going to train them physically, in character, and give them the strategy to basically become their own agent, recruiter.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things that I do a lot of visualization. I mean, a lot of kids are like, Coach, are you serious? I said, I'm telling you, it's going to work. So a lot of us called neurolinguist language. So basically, let's say, for me, when I was a kid, my brother used to call me dummy. So for a long time, I thought I was dumb. Then I find out, no, my IQ is off the chart. So what we do is that I find out something is holding him back. So let's say people said at the time, and I had boys that were chubby, they were short, they grow, they turn out to be awesome stud athletes. So what I tell them is because something happened a long time ago is not true. So I do this called ratio technique that try to raise these stupid memories out. And I always tell them, I said, just focus on what you're doing, And it's simple. Get good grades. Make sure you're eating right. Don't skip training. Even if you're sick, you call me. We'll make a determination. And I tell them, I said, if you decided you don't want to, oh, I'm not going to do this today. I told them, I said, one of the easiest thing in the world to do is quitting. You don't have to do shit. Nothing. Nothing. Bad. You want to be one of the best. You want to look back, 6, 17 years after you play your sport, it goes, I didn't give up. I might not be, was All-American, All-Pro, but I never give up. And I told them that translates to the life, to the relationship, to the family, to the spouse, to the treating employees treating you. It carries on. And I'm huge about early morning stuff because when you get up early morning, and I learned that from Naval Admiral, making your own bed. Man, I don't want to do this. I'll drink my coffee. And I said, this is what it does. That's the first positive action you done. Then what it is, you make sure appearance is right, you look right, and people notice that. People goes, wow, it looks good, it's clean cut, you speak effectively, he's not trying to be something he's not. So that's mental aspect of it. I worked with him without even knowing it. So I told him, I said, close your eyes. Just imagine what are you going to be 30 days from now. And it says, walk me through it. I'll catch a ball for a score. I will shoot the winning basket. And I said, that's what you're going to do. When you put your mind free in that level, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. Another factor I also want to talk about is a sensitive subject is internet. Greatest tool, also worst tool. So a lot of kids goes, hey man, all right, if you take this stuff, makes you bigger, stronger. 90% of supplements, which people told me I have no right to say, it's garbage. We have no regulation in this country when it comes in. What's in that canister is what they send it to FDA is totally different. And I said, especially for younger student athletes, you should get 90% of stuff for your food. The only thing you're gonna need, some organic amino acid, I need some protein. I don't get seduced some stupid bodybuilder, hey man, let me get you on this steroid. No, you don't know where it's made. You don't know if it's gonna stop your heart, kill you. What it's gonna do, no. I tell kids, all my students out there, if you're tempted, I want to talk to you about it. Just want to talk to you. And they get very shocked. And I goes, well, why should I not take it? I said, oh, well, forget about the game. You're going to lose your hair. Your hormones are going to be all messed up. You're going to gain a lot of weight. And your little boy downstairs is not going to work. And you're going to be 20 years old. Is that what you want? And of course, I had no idea. I says, just think about what's out there. Don't do stuff. A few years ago, vaping was very popular. Oh, it doesn't hurt you. Yes, it does. It's got chemicals. Messes up your brain, your lungs. It's got metals in there that find out they have maldehyde, the stuff they put in dead people. So I just tell them, I said, be smart. Find out what you're doing, have a longevity. So by the time you're 50, you're not broken down. I take a lot of pride. I've got twins that are 13, boy and a girl, and an 11-year-old daughter. And I just turned 62. And when I practice with my athletes of other sports, I kick their asses, They always say, Coach, how old are you? And I say, yeah. Let's go. One more lap. Let's go. I want to let them know the proof is in the pudding. I don't talk it. I believe it. I do it. I train 3-4 days a week. And I make sure I even play competitive golf. Not because I'm trying to turn professional. I want to let myself know that because you get older, it doesn't mean you have to stuff. I got a lot of older clients as well. 55, one of the ladies I trained, she's 77. She had heart issues, she had lung issues, smoked for years. And God bless her. She's been training almost a year. She's not smoking. Granted, she's not running a marathon, but she's healthy. She looks good. She sleeps good. She has no health issues. And what I do is that I get majority of my clients off the medication. The pharma in this country, average person takes about 3 medicine for life. I take people off diabetes medication, not because I'm a genius, because of science. They're giving you something is poison. Or they're giving you, oh, you're never going to get better. Okay, how come? They don't ask question. Why not? Well, you're older. Well, what are you supposed to do? Go to the corner and die? So I get a lot of my clients off the medication. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be very clear. If you have a certain medication, I have a client, excuse me, he gets seizure. He's got to have his EpiPen. He's got to have stuff. Absolutely. But you don't need to take certain stuff. You depend on it, because what it does, it tears your body down. It's about the quality of life. You work so hard to get a certain level. Then what's gonna happen is then you find out, man, I can't do this, I can't do that. And that would depress the shit out of me. So I want people to have a great quality life, and I take a lot of pride in that.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Now, there's a lot of people who are going to be listening to this,
Right.
and they resonate with everything that you're saying. And it's a little bit refreshing from all the toxic stuff that people are pushing on student athletes and on parents of student athletes. So how would somebody come and actually work with you, whether it's in person or just getting some sort of consultation from you? How does someone work with you?
Name of my business is Bodies by Mahmood. You could put our phone number. You could get my cell phone number. I got no pride. You could call me. You could ask questions. We'll bring you for evaluation and find out what does it take for go. Like first step is that, okay, let's get your body healthy. Get rid of a lot of junk food. Then what we do is that we show them step by step. And I tell parents, I said, don't just drop them off. Drop on me without unannounced. That way I'm not like, yeah, do another set, and I'm scrolling through my app. I'm not doing that. I am so involved with them. I sweat as much as they do. I want to make sure. So, and I've done it for 35 years. It's not like, he's fresh to this. I want to get a great quality, not just for the sport, but for future life. Imagine you get your business degree with MBA from any schools. It puts you in different levels. So I want to make sure, and I always tell people, don't back down. It's like one of my goes, I really want to go to law school, but I'm scared. I said, okay, scared of what? The money goes, well, no, I can't get it. I said, what is scared? Goes, scared of not making it. I'm scared of failing it. And I said, some of the best athletes in the world, they fail more than they succeed. And that's where they are. From Michael Jordan to Curry to Tom Brady. Tom Brady was number 1 6-pack. Have you seen his body in a combine? He's like a skinny fat boy. And he's like, look at him now. But he believed what he wants to do and ask good questions, get answers. But I always tell them that don't get seduced with the stuff. Like like I said, I don't want to badmouth any supplement, but majority of them have toxic. They got soy stuff. They got stuff that's not good for your body. It's going to hurt you more than help you. All you need is a good organic whey protein and eat good. And I show them very simply how to go by, eat within a budget, not going to break the bank. People think if you eat organic, costs more. It doesn't. It doesn't. You just make better choices, and you will see when you treat your body good, body will let you know how good it's going to perform. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited, especially we are 3 biggest cities in a country for sports. Number 1, Arlington, Texas, Dallas area. The joke over this, there are 2 sports over there: fall football, spring football. I know they got amazing because they're so big. Number 2 is Orange County, California. We're getting so many players from all sports. And number 3 is in Orlando for football. especially baseball, basketball, with the schools that they are really specialized on that. And also, I tell the guys, I said, listen, if you have a student athlete live overseas, and he must have come to America, find out what level you are, I can help them to get set up with a scholarship, get set up with the families. Their schools are out there; they are looking for that. And my friends at Mount Vernon, that's all they do. That's all they do. They go around the world to find those student athletes. But uh, I believe we got so many great student athletes in Central Florida. It would blow my mind for all sports. And
Yeah.
our baseball here is second to none. I would say football, we're probably got top 10 teams in the country. Basketball, probably number one and number two, and the girls' soccer, volleyball, lacrosse, and so on. So it's a great city for sports and playing. One last thing I want to mention. Our friends at AU might get not too happy with, but I have to tell them, you don't have to be part of travel team. So my son wanted to play soccer. He was 8 and asked me, do you want him in travel team? I said, where are we going? And said, well, we'll go around the country. I said, no, I want him to play here. So they sell you on this program and it costs a lot of money. Oh, if your son doesn't play from 12 on, play AU baseball, basketball, he's not going to get recruited. It's absolutely not true. Look at the Dela Cruz from Dominican Republic with Reds. You think he play AU? I don't think so. I have a ton of them. If you're at that level, they will find you. But I tell parents, junior year, senior year, you want to expose them, great, no problem. But don't do it at 10 and 12. It costs you thousands of dollars every week traveling around the country. So I always tell people, it's not necessary. If you want to do anything for them, put them in the right program with the right coach to learn this skill. They play the part they want to play. Learn what you got to do. So that's my biggest thing. I think AU is a great program, but I just don't like the idea of it put a lot of pressures on parents. So imagine your dad. Hey, Dad, we're going to Oshkosh, Wisconsin. So we got to leave Friday, and they're going to play Saturday, 2 games, Sunday. They didn't come home Monday, so you might lose 2 days of work and cost you a lot of money. And of course, you want to do a lot for your kids, but it's not necessary. I say junior or senior year, and get with a team the most travel in the Southeast. You want to go to Miami, it takes 3 hours. You want to go to Georgia, it takes a few hours. But you don't have to go to South Dakota to play, So, and I'm not bad-mouthing them. I just want to let the parents know. So it's important to know that.
Absolutely. And now you have a really deep and wide network among professional and college athletes and organizations.
Right.
What organizations would be like a dream collaboration or partnership?
Oh, gosh. I'm so glad you asked that question. Part of it is my fault because I've not approached it. I would love to work with Shaq because Shaq, Jason Williams told me so much about him that he's such a giving, loving, caring person. And I was thought about it. I said, wow, he's doing all this thing with all these young guys to come to Reebok. So what happened? We have a 3 months intense training for him here that we could do collaboration. And that way, these guys are at a totally different level when they go into the college or the college before you get drafted. It increases the visibility, increases the NIL. I'm sorry, what was NIL for?
Name, image, like.
Thank you. I always forget. And also helps them out to be at the higher level. I would love to work with Shaq. I would love to work with Mike Cuban because he understands investment on a business. More than anything else, I want their influence. I don't need money. I got a great $3 million facility in Orlando. And last guy I would love to work with because he's so real is Patrick Bet-David.
Yeah.
Not because he's Iranian. I love him for that, but that man is so on everything and he's so passionate and he wants to help. I just saw a segment on him trying to help the girl with a mental problem, and she didn't want it. So I said, well, I'm sorry. But he still reached out. He goes, I will pay for you to get better. What a great guy. That man is at top of my life. I hope someday I get the chance to meet him. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah. And one final question, just out of pure
Yeah,
personal
absolutely.
curiosity. What do you think is the hardest sport to play professionally?
Football, let me give you an answer. My dear friend, Coach Gerke, has been coaching for 40 years in Orlando. He told me, goes, any other sport, you're a great athlete. You play football, you're a warrior. And people are still trying to make it softer. Football is a violent and it can be dangerous sport to play. So I tell people you have to know, because your dad played, you never played, and he's 16. I'm not saying not to play, but know how to tackle. Know, like one of the simple things I teach him, when he's a whistle, don't stand there. Get out of pile up. Somebody could fall on your knee, tear your knees off. Football by far is a physically demanding, and the schools are changing. And last coaches camp I taught, uh, my biggest thing was, why are we training like 1960 bench press, deadlift, hang? It doesn't serve the purpose. Why are we training functional muscle faster, quicker? You get bigger, but it's like we don't drive a 1960 NASCARs. They're all souped up 2025. So for that reason, there got to be more functional training. And some schools are doing it they're getting more recovery with the cryotherapy, infrared sauna, high altitude chamber. It's so important to month of October, November, your student athletes are. That's the toughest sport. Besides that, I would say rugby. Rugby, those guys I see all cauliflower ears and stuff. And you know what's crazy? Majority of those guys don't even get paid. Wow. They don't get paid. Especially the New Zealand guys. When they do the hawk up, I get chills. It's amazing how committed they are. So, but every sport that is thing, like when I play soccer, the bylaw says it's a non-contact sport. Well, I got about at least 8 or 9 bones broken. My skull got cracked. I got over 200 stitches in my body. I think it's a little contact. But I always tell students, protect yourself at all time, and whatever sport is, and play hard. And you don't have to play dirty. You don't have to hurt anybody. Play hard, play fair, and at the outcome, learn from it. If you lost the game, nobody wants to lose. Go back, look what you did. I wasn't quick enough. I was dragging. I didn't have the stamina. So, the films tell you everything. Okay, I need to work on this and that. So, but sports are the greatest thing in a human life, because it gets the kids healthy, engaged, and we're so blessed in America that we could give scholarship. We could put them in a different level. A lot of places, they don't give you a scholarship. So unless you make it to pro levels, you got nothing going on.
What words of advice would you leave for student athletes and parents of student athletes?
Come see me. Call me. I had open houses before. Come see me. Ask me hard questions. Who died? Maybe God. Okay. That's what I would ask. All right. Who made me God was, I got thousands of student athletes, not all turn pro. I would say 90% of them turn out to the higher grade of things in life. I'll give you one example. I had a wide receiver at Edgewater High School in Orlando, Zane Taylor. Zane, grandfather was an Air Force pilot. He went to Air Force Academy. He wanted to quit. I told him, I said, no. He's, got great parents. And I told him, I said, you come back, I'm going to put my foot up your ass. And I have to write letters. You can't email or call. So he told me that he kept that letter for a long time. And him and his dad make fun of me. He goes, really going to do that? I said, like, maybe. But now he is colonel with Thunderbirds. He's the highest ranking Air Force pilot out there. He's done tour in a battle. He's so decorated. And this is a young man. I just told him, I said, no quitting, no giving up. if you're passionate about something, might not happen today, tomorrow, but know the avenues. Like, for instance, don't go 2 years not playing sports. Hey, I want to go play college. The question is, why didn't you play college? Why didn't you get recruited? What's going on? Are you mentally, physically? A lot of questions, because if you got a blue chip player ready to go, they're not going to pick you. So I always tell guys, there is ways to do this. Florida doesn't take you. Let's go to some other schools. Bruin Parker, Swanee. These are great, Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee. These are great schools. They got all kinds of sports, and they got great degrees you could get. So, don't give up. Be passionate and find a way. Call me, go research it, but don't get into big expenses like recruiting. Don't get in expenses of buying home gyms you're never going to use. Don't do that stuff. Like, for instance, you got a dental problem, don't go see a plumber. Go see a dentist. But that's my biggest thing. I just want to have a healthy, strong community. That's one of my biggest goals.
Absolutely. Well, Mahmood, it's been wonderful. I think this episode is going to give a lot of people some guidance that they need and some different ideas from what's normally out there. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I look forward
Please
to the
have
next
them
one.
call me, give them my number, email. I'll always answer unless it's 6 a.m. because I got to get my kids ready for school. That's a different story. But call me, and the least I could do, I could answer your questions. I can show you what you need to do to where you want to go.
Yeah. What's the best number for them to reach you at?
They could call my center at 407-422-3050, or they could call my cell phone, 407-342, 3400. I don't call myself too much. The reason I give my cell phone is because I'm passionate about people. If I can answer the question, by any reason I did not answer, I might be in the middle of a session, but I'll always return the call within an hour. Always, always, always. And I try to guide them the best I can. And the investment they make, it will pay off. All my student athletes, they went to the great schools, they got great degree, and they got great afterlife, regardless playing professional or not.
Perfect.
Thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure.
All right. Likewise.
Appreciate it. Thank you.